presenter is Dr. Glenn, and he's with us. Let's welcome him. Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing very good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you so much for asking. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Glenn, and he who is the CEO and co-founder of Alberts, and he's with 6+ years of experience. Dr. Glenn is working in robotics engineering to make huge changes in our health through the nutrition at Alberts. So he's going to speak on how B2B food robotics can be a door opener for plant-based dairy to increase market penetration and benefit from the personalization topics and Albert's offer to brands to learn what consumers really want. So get ready to have an interesting session. So Glenn, you can start your presentation. I can perfectly see your screen now. So good luck. Stage is all yours now.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. I don't know how many people are here in the audience, but hello, everybody. So as said, my name is Glenn. I've been working in the startup Alberts from the beginning. With Alberts, we try to make a healthy life the easiest option. And I think we have some interesting insights with regards to how certain products, for example, in this case, we work with plant-based dairy products, how they can actually find the way towards the consumer and how the consumer can communicate back towards the creators, a brand, for example, on everything with regards to taste or with regards to experience. Why? Because our products are very personalized. So I will try to explain everything in the next 25 minutes. So let's take a look at what I would like to share. So first of all, what we are serving through this device, so what you see on the right side is the food robotics appliance we have developed. So this is approximately as big as 2 Coca-Cola machines next to each other. So you have to imagine a vending machine. And what we serve at the end is something that fits into a cup. So it is a blend. A blend can be a smoothie, a soup, a frappé, a yogurt, a shake, or a muesli. And the more you go to the right, the more vegan dairy products are implemented. So I want to share with you a little bit our story and how we came to this experience of including plant-based dairy products and what it could mean for brands or for companies. So maybe first, why we do this. So we believe that bringing pure food back to the forefront is very important. Often you have to read somewhere in a label what's inside, and then you see names which you don't recognize. So what we want is like this little young lady here on the left side. We want to let people dream about the ingredients like it was just once. You see an apple on a tree and you say, oh, I want that one. And this is the same what we do here. We bring pure IQF fruit, vegetables, and plant-based dairies, I will get there later, back to the forefront. So what you see here in the robotic device is frozen IQF, individually quickly frozen ingredients. And they are wholesome. So that means a strawberry is a full strawberry, an apple is a part of an apple, and a blueberry is a full blueberry. Through the years, we've been winning various innovation prizes, ranging back from 2017 to today. We have been constantly developing the technology further and further and further. And that's why today we can serve and smoothies and warm soups and porridge and mueslis and vegan dairy products. The technology we have is patented and it's approved in the US, in EU, Japan, and South Korea. So we literally started, left upper corner was our first blender. So it was rather premature. And then we developed all the way through, in the end now, having a production here locally in Belgium of the machines. So I just want you to have a good understanding of how the solution works. Not to give you a promo talk, but really to come to my point later on how we can include plant-based dairy products to the fullest. So let's take a look here. We see here 2 of our machines standing and 1 lady who is trying a soup. The ingredients are taken gram by gram. So that means that this robot is collecting the ingredients gram by gram, so you can personalize your recipe 100%. You can order like this lady on the screen. So when you order on the screen, you order from a menu. In the menu, you just like you enter any fast food or any vending machine, you select a certain recipe and you just order it. You pay in the payment terminal, just like the gentleman here is doing, and you continue your journey. Here, a soup will now be served so the consumer can follow the full journey very transparently and then get served the drink at the end, just like it's done here. So the lady will taste. It's not live, so I can tell you she will like it. The video continues to have a good understanding again of the ingredients in the frozen roux. Because like I said, in the machines you see here, you see pure IQF ingredients integrated. But we've continued that development to also include plant-based frozen dairy products. And I think that's most interesting here today to share and to give you inspiration on how this could be then used by other brands. That is, in these cartridges, you see full wholesome ingredients. But for example, on the right side, you can see passion fruit. Passion fruit is very hard to receive IQF. Individually quickly frozen passion fruit is not existing. You always receive it through, for example, a puree, which is then frozen. So exactly in the same way, they're frozen pellets in that case. Exactly in the same way, we envision, and we have perfectioned ourselves already to freeze dairy products. So on the left side, for example, you see a bouillon, a stock. This is our own made bouillon. In that case, it was with coconut fat. Why did we do that? Because we want to integrate all the ingredients frozen so that there is zero food waste. So left, you see the droplets. So they look a bit like a dash of whipped cream. We include them in the machine. So what we have been doing now in the last months is to include plant-based dairy products, coconut milk, almond milk, soy milk, what else? Rice milk, or yogurts. It's a bit thicker. And why go for this individually quickly frozen method is because firstly, you have zero food waste. And secondly, the machines can operate for a very long time independently. Now, what kind of possibilities does that open? So let's take a look here. Sorry, I went too far. So if we take a look here, you can see that we can make, together with our partner Cube, it's a Belgian partner, we can make thousands of different recipes where we make these cubes. So they are the pellets, the dashed whipped cream. We can make hundreds, thousands of different recipes. So for example, you can imagine a plant-based or even real dairy that is frozen. So it means that it keeps all the nutrients. Personally, with Alberts, we do everything vegan, but imagine you want to work with real dairy. It also means that you can have all of your nutrients, which are inside, so your active components inside your dairy product, are preserved in the freezing process, so they're not destroyed by pasteurization. So you can have active components. Many brands do this, where they have active bifidus or whatever that they add. But the reality is that not so much is added because then everything the shelf life is too short. So these active components are actually small, but in our case, you can add a lot of these active components because it's frozen, so it's stable. Afterwards, we then start blending these towards a drink, and then we can add real fruit. In the technology that we have developed, we have a real-time platform to, let's say, follow up on our field, but also a manufacturing plant in order to start manufacturing more and more devices together with a partner, Dekimo. And this is the most interesting part, I believe. What we do is we can track consumer behavior. Why? Because consumers download our app. Why do consumers download the Alberts app? Because you can make your own recipe inside the app, which is a very cool experience, something that people don't do every day. I always compare with soda brands. Why would I download an app of a soda brand? There's not really a real reason. I just buy a soda. I don't really need a reason to download the app, or there is no real reason. In our case, the super cool thing is that people can make their own recipes. People can exchange codes for discounts from their employers or from retail shops where they found our machine. So that means that people download the app. And at that point, we can have a direct consumer relationship. Why is that interesting? Imagine you have a new coconut dairy product and you want to try it out. What standard process would be is let's do some recipe development. So you work inside a lab, you make, for example, coconut with blueberry flavor. You add a lot of apple juice because it's cheap. And then in the end, you end up with a kind of mix. And you say, we're going to bring this to the market after doing panel testing, double tested, blindfolded, etc. But what we do is we just let the people make their own recipes. And in the data that we gather, we see what do people like? What do people reorder? Which recipes do they favorite? And as such, we don't have to ask what they like. We just see what they like. So we can just see, okay, people try to mix mango with strawberry and combine that with coconut. Okay, fine. People want to have only 20% coconut dairy or actually 80% or whatever. Like we can just see in the data what the results are. And I think that's the interesting part. Apart from reading the data, we can also just ask the consumer. So if somebody ordered a new coconut dairy product with some stuff, we can just the day after send a push message and ask, how did you like that smoothie? And people can respond in various ways, can be starring it, like 3 stars, 2 stars, 5 stars, can be giving a code. We can ask deeper feedback in return for a discount. Why? Because we have real-time access to a field of test panel, which we don't have to organize, so we don't have to instrumentalize, but they're just active. So I think that is cool. You can directly match that with demographics, etc., in order to get aggregated results. So our story really started with an idea where this is another picture I got from my Google Photos, October 27, 2016. We were blending like this. So there was still a lot of work to do. And then we continued all the way through. Here we are testing at Deleuze, a retail store in Belgium. And then now we have the soups and the sweets. So why is this interesting? So what I think you can do is you can go for very interesting co-branding opportunities. So Albert is Albert's, but we can co-brand that with different products, which can be included. Can be plant-based dairy products. If you want to do something with real dairy with a lot of active components, so Albert is fully plant-based, but we can make an agreement where that's done in a certain region under another white labeled solution. And I think as such, you can generate a lot of combinations, and you can make a direct-to-consumer connection, which otherwise is very hard to do. Sorry, I have to quickly see my notes. Okay, good. So let's take a look one step further. So are we alone here? No, definitely not. The food robotics market since 2019, it became a market. So it became a tech space. So you see here the first market map that they made in 2019. I think there are like approximately 20 players that are active. Albert is one of them. Our old logo is still there. You also see that many people move towards food robotics. For example, Coca-Cola, they have acquired Costa Coffee. They also acquired Costa Coffee, but they then acquired Brigo. Brigo was a food robotics company which had a coffee robot. And so then Coca-Cola for Costa Coffee acquired it. The same with DoorDash. They have acquired Sally the robot. Sally is from Chowbotics, was the startup called. That's a salad robot. So we are a blend robot, something different. But just to show you that this market is growing, the food robotics market map today is at least 3 times as big. So you have many new players that came on board. And then more exits also are there now already. So how do we work? We work with a model where we work with regional franchisees, the master franchisees that then find locations. And we connect with the consumers and we connect with the machines digitally to safeguard the quality because the brand is out there, so it needs to be safeguarded. We have a compact, though interesting team, young dynamic team, where we now are trying to grow internationally. So we're about to open the first country out of Belgium. So that will be very exciting for us. We have a board, very experienced board, people ranging from over 35 years of experience as entrepreneurs, building billion-dollar groups, towards people that were managers at Sodexo, for example, Coca-Cola, chief engineering officer in the past. So many people who support us as advisors or in our board. And so in total, I think our solution is one that is mature, and that is ready to explore. And what I mean with explore is, for example, explore with brands, in this case in the dairy world, but can also be people who are in the grain world or in the nut world or anywhere there. We can explore in searching for partnerships where we can share our platform. So what we've tried to build is, let's say, a platform that we can leverage. And that platform is a food robotic appliance plus a software stack around that, where together with interested partners, we can try to explore synergies and we can try to search for what do we want to learn from the consumer, what do we want to bring to the consumer, which experience, and what communication do we want to bring to the consumer or get from the consumer. So that is in a nutshell what I'm trying to offer to the table as something which is, let's say, at least partly new. There are not too many companies doing this yet. And we're always on the lookout for new partnerships and new models to grow hand in hand. So I don't know if there are any persons in the audience or if this is recorded for later. But actually, I'm very keen to receive questions and to see how people from the industry here would look at a platform like this in order to potentially grow out of that together. I don't know if there are people, but I would be very happy to answer some questions, actually, if that's possible.
Hi.
Um, are
Hi.
there people in the audience that might have some questions or can debate a little bit further, or is there nobody to directly?
There are people, and I'll ask the audience that if they are having any question, they can ask you in the chat or in the QA session.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay, so thank you so much, and thank you so much for your wonderful session. It was really very interesting session, and we are
Yes,
looking forward to work again with you. Thank you
short
for
and
your
powerful.
time. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Yes.